one of the top stories on the First Alert 4 News app. First Alert 4 has exclusive video showing the moments when police shot and killed a man pacing on I-44 in Franklin County last year. He had a knife, and his family's attorney now says the officers had time to make another choice.
Tonight, Chief Investigative Reporter Lauren Traeger brings us an update to the story she broke as experts break down research on how officers should engage a person with a knife.
We initially requested the video in this case because a witness had told another media outlet that Garrett Ryan did not have a knife that day. That is a fact now indisputable from the video evidence, but the incident is renewing questions about how police handle deadly force situations when a person they are encountering has a knife.
We're going to try to make contact with them.
What happened in August last year is captured on 3 cameras. The video is difficult to watch, and we are only showing it to a point as the various views detail the last moments of a man's life.
Hey, can I talk to you just real quick?
Officers had tried talking to him previously.
Will you please talk with me?
Get away from me!
He has a big knife, guys. He's armed.
The Sullivan officer giving multiple commands and a Franklin County deputy too.
Don't do this! Stop!
The Sullivan officer backing up as the man approaches and they open fire.
Sullivan, shots fired. Get EMS around.
Every day's kind of a nightmare. The grief is overwhelming.
Elena Ryan says her son Garrett Ryan had struggled in the past but would never have intended to hurt an officer. Her attorney says they plan to sue.
I don't believe that it ever should have got to the point where that any use of force should have been needed in this case.
And in that particular case, I didn't see where they had any other choice.
But in our investigation, we showed the video to former St. Louis County Chief turned police consultant Tim Fitch.
Come on, no, stop.
He says officers did try to de-escalate, but it all changed when Garrett took that stance, he says, knife in hand.
He was using lethal force, the knife, and the officers returned lethal force and stopped it, which is what they're supposed to do.
Now, to even better understand what guides officers in these situations, we asked experts about officer reaction times.
The closer someone is, the worse case it's going to be in terms of reacting.
Michael Cantor, a professor of physiology at Ohio Northern University, has studied the time it can take for a knife-wielding subject to reach an officer. Previous guidance was the 21-foot rule, meaning if someone were to charge an officer with a knife, they could cover 21 feet just in the time it takes an officer to react and fire their weapon. But Cantor says new research proves there are many more variables that actually challenge that rule.
Environment, the skill of the officer, the weapons being used, the actual profile of the individual. A lot of what I've done is looking at like males and females, young and old, fit, not fit, and how does that actually impact someone, say, running at you from a distance.
Now, Cantor says those variables mean that officers should try to get as much training in simulated scenarios as possible to also better understand their own reaction times. Other experts also point out that tasers may not always be effective in these situations and that officers are trained to shoot a subject in the broad part of their body, not their legs or extremities. Now, the Franklin County Sheriff, in a statement to us, said this was a tragic situation, but that the officers feared for their safety and the safety of the public. It is also, though, of course, certainly a very difficult situation for the Ryan family. Their attorney saying they have consulted their own experts and expect more of this to play out in court. We have that full investigation on the First Alert 4 News app, and you can give us feedback. Email us at investigates@firstalert4.com. I'm Lauren Traeger. First Alert 4 Investigates.